Have y'all seen this video by Mr. Rossman and his disagreement with Australia's reasonable measures? It is clear in this video that Mr. Rossman does not care about the future of humanity. Australia is at the forefront of innovation, leading the way for implementing new technologies to combat the spread of diseases. The state of South Australia is requiring travelers to quarantine at home and download an app that will combine facial recognition and geolocation to ensure that these free individuals are indeed where they're supposed to be. Australia is simply ordering their subjects to comply with their new policy. Basically, this app will randomly prompt the end user to send a picture of themselves with their geolocation data within 15 minutes. If they fail to accomplish this simple and reasonable task, the local police department will be knocking on their door, as, of course, they should. Like I said, it's crazy that Mr. Rossman does not agree with these reasonable requests. I think this should be implemented everywhere. Now, completely unrelated to anything I just said, I want to talk about geofencing and how you may be able to troll your place of employment the way I do. For those of you who do not know, a geofence is a virtual fence that is entirely based off of your GPS coordinates. For example, DJI, the drone creator, creates these geofences around stuff like airports, and it prevents users from flying their drones in restricted airspace. The company that I work for implements geofencing for certain departments because we employees are allowed to clock in and out from our phones. So each user is geofenced to the address of the company. So they are not able to clock in and out outside of the premises of the company. This prevents employees from clocking in from home and riding the clock on their way to or from work. My department in particular is exempt from this because my department is exempt from overtime and we travel all around the world, so a geofence wouldn't make much sense because we will be needing to clock in and out from literally all across the globe. Now, there's no one at my company that is actively checking that everyone is clocking in where they are supposed to be. I imagine this would only be used if an employee gets investigated for whatever reason. Now, the reason why I know nobody in my company is actively looking at where employees clock in from is because I have never been questioned about my clock-in locations. If you type in GPS spoofer in wherever you get your apps from, you'll most likely find a bunch of apps that can help you troll your place of employment. Hint, hint, wink, wink. Occasionally, I like to clock in from Moscow and clock out from Fiji. When I worked on the island of American Samoa, I would clock in from Samoa, which is beyond the date line, and then I would clock out one day prior in my real location. The hours would remain the same because my company tracks time locally here in Texas, but the location and dates would be all over the place. And it's something that I thought would be funny one day if I ever get investigated. The only sad part is that I never got confronted, which tells me that my company, like I said, doesn't actually check the location of punches. Anyway, that's all I have. As Mr. Rossman would say, I hope you learned something. Ordering its subjects to comply with their new policy. The state of the I can't say that with a straight face.
Please assume that every time you leave your home,
you ride to jail.
You exercise,
Jail.
carpool,
Jail.
browsing,
Also jail.
and if I leave the house to go shopping,
Believe it or not, jail. Right away.
leave your home,
Right to jail. Right away.
the basic message is
They put you in jail. Right away. No trial, no